Hello, I'm Shane M. Nygaard, and welcome to the first exploration in my Astrology and Fairy Tales series. For a rich overview, please check out my introduction video, Setting the Stage, or Prologue, for looking at the intersection of astrology and fairy tales. We'll begin here where we left off in the introduction, turning the page into a fairy tale. So for the first tale, if you're given these two icons, any guesses? It is indeed that tale as old as time itself, Beauty and the Beast. From ancient oral traditions to the 1740 version by French novelist Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve, and of course, the animated and live-action Disney adaptations, this story endures. I chose this tale to begin with because the way I approached this tale with the chart we'll look at is slightly different than the others that follow. So let's begin with a quick summary of the tale for those unfamiliar. An arrogant young prince and his castle's servants fall under the spell of a wicked enchantress who transforms him into a hideous beast until he learns to love and be loved in return. Belle, a spirited and headstrong village girl, enters the beast's castle after he imprisons her father. With the help of his enchanted servants, Belle begins to draw the cold-hearted beast out of isolation. In time, their relationship blossoms into love, and the spell is broken, returning the beast, changed to his princely form. So when we begin to map the archetypes in this tale, we see Neptune in the enchantress casting her spell, not to mention just the overall enchanting and magical tale itself. We see Venus in Belle, the embodiment of love and beauty, and the Sun and Saturn in the beast, royalty in exile in his own castle. But let's look more closely at the title itself. Beauty and the Beast is pure archetype. Venus, mythic goddess of love and beauty, rules both Taurus and Libra. And Taurus, symbolized by the bull, gives us a direct mythic pun. Beauty and the bull. Beauty and the Beast. It is truly is a tale as old as time. Those with strong Taurus placements often encounter this archetype, this tale in some form in their life, in love, in identity, in business, or in transformation. So let's turn to our first chart example here. Leonidas Frank Lon Chaney, born April 1st, 1883 in Colorado Springs, Colorado at 7:24 a.m. Chaney's chart features a powerful Taurus stellium at the Ascendant, potentially the very face of Beauty and the Beast. Born to deaf parents, Chaney's early life was rooted in sensory awareness and nonverbal expression. This became the foundation of his genius in silent film. With his Venus ruled chart and first house Pluto, cosmetics and transformation were central to his career. He became Hollywood's most revered makeup artist. And he earned the title the Man of 1,000 Faces. Many of those faces were beastly, grotesque, or villainous. As one article notes, Chaney established a reputation in the years during and after World War I, playing grotesque, usually villainous creatures, as well as for the pains he took to assume these roles. So let's look closer at that Taurus stellium at his ascendant, where we have South Node, Neptune, Saturn, Chiron, and Pluto. So Neptune, as we've said, is enchantment and illusion, the spellcaster. Pluto is transformation, so we see the beast's metamorphosis here. And Saturn, the archetype of the chained, the grotesque, or the devouring father. And that Saturn, in myth, Saturn is a titan, monstrous, consuming, and exiled. Goya's painting of Saturn devouring his children is a chilling image of archetypal horror. Not what Chaney played, not that Chaney played Saturn directly, but his roles often embodied Saturnian themes such as exile, deformity, and isolation. When Jung said, stick with the image, it's as if Chaney instinctively understood. He became the image. Two of his most iconic roles, Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Eric, the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. Both are physically grotesque, emotionally wounded, and in love with archetypal beauties, Esmeralda and Christine, respectively. They speak to beauty and the beast immediately. Wikipedia describes Quasimodo rather perfectly as born with a hunchback and feared by the townspeople as a sort of monster, but he finds sanctuary in an unlikely love, Esmeralda, a love fulfilled only in death. Chains, seen here, Saturn's symbol, are literal as well as symbolic in Quasimodo's story. And as the deformed phantom in the Phantom of the Opera, who haunts the Paris Opera House, wreaking havoc and murdering performers as he attempts to make his love, Christine, the headlining star of the opera. Again, this Beauty and the Beast relationship between the grotesque, physically and psychologically, and the beauty. Ah! And again, Quasimodo and Esmeralda. That Chaney was drawn to these roles is just really incredible. I imagine him enchanting himself as he becomes these characters inside and out and facing the challenges they face around love and beauty. And the Phantom and Christine, these Beauty and the Beast relationships were a major force in Chaney's film career. So, of these relationships, let's look at Venus in Chaney's chart. First, with a Taurus ascendant, Venus is Chaney's chart ruler, and Venus is in Aquarius in the 11th house. This is a Venus that can speak to relating to the group as an outsider. Again, in Lon's personal life, it was different, but he was drawn to characters who could only love, well, from a distance. Second, Venus square first house Pluto Chiron in Taurus. This is extraordinary, really, as it suggests an intense, transformative story of wounding and suffering, bound to love and beauty. That's the archetypal Beauty and the Beast, whether it plays out in life or in film, or through the storylines of classic literature or Disney song and dance. Also in Chaney's 11th house is Mars in Pisces. This speaks to the anger, Mars, of the group or the mob, the 11th house community, attacking the unacceptable outsider, which is, interestingly enough, a scene featured in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I realize I still have Beauty and the Beast listed on the side there. My bad. Same here. And The Phantom of the Opera. He stayed very true to his archetypal nature throughout. So that's a short look at Lon Chaney and Beauty and the Beast. With this example, we saw how the fairy tale was reflected in his natal chart and his professional life through his choice of key roles. With Taurus containing the tail and Chaney's Taurus stellium on his ascendant, it played out in his silent film career as he was drawn to beastly, grotesque characters, cast as outsiders, yet in love with archetypal beauties. He was the archetypal face of the tale as old as time. It's quite remarkable. So thank you for watching this video. Please check out my videos and other astrology and fairy tales videos as they are uploaded. Thank you.